Next, we will see how to insert this background image here, this one, and how to write the heading and the anchor tag on top of the background image. So in our HTML file, let's write a main element. So all the elements now I'm going to write, it's going to be inside this main element. So first I'll give a div. So this div will have a class of BMG. So I will use this div to insert my background image using CSS. We will see that a bit later. And then inside this div will go our container. We'll go another div. And this will have a class name of container. So in this div, we will have the text which will appear on the top of the background image, which is the h1 heading and the anchor. Coding class. And then next is our anchor. Right now we don't have any links to provide. We're just making a demo page, so I will just use the hash sign and then a class of btn main, and our text goes here inside get started. Okay, now that's it. Let's save it. So in our page, when you refresh it, you don't see anything because our content is actually overlapping with this header navbar. If you remove this background color, you will be able to see. Let's comment this background color and see. Our heading and the anchor is actually overlapping with the navbar. So we can fix this. So I will style the main element, all the elements inside the main. I will style it by selecting the main element, and this main element will have a text align of center. So basically all the elements inside the main elements will have a text align of center and a position of relative, and I will push it down to 58 pixels. 58 pixels. Okay. Now, if you see, our heading and the anchor tag is visible. Now next we will style our next we will insert the background image inside this div. So I will use this class name dot bimg, and to insert background image we need this background image property, and the value of the background image is a URL, and the URL should be the URL to the image you will use. It can be an external URL or the file name where you have stored your image. So I have stored my image in this folder. Yeah, I will use this banner at PNG. Let's save it. You can see this is our background image, but you have to size this so that we can see it properly. So let's give this one a height of 800 pixels. Yeah, that will be enough. Yeah, we need to size it a bit more so that we can see the picture clearly. So we will use the property of background size property, and the value will be contain. So the background size property and the value of contain will resize the image to make it fully visible. Okay, and then we will use the property of background position. Where is it? Yeah, to center. We will center align. We'll center the image, background image. Yeah, and then you can see our image is repeating at the top and at the bottom over here. It's repeating again. So till this much is our image, starting here and stopping from here. So again it is repeating over here twice. So we will use the property background repeat and say no repeat. Let's save it and see. Well, yeah, now it's fine. So next, let's style this coding class heading. So for that, we will select our main h1 and give it a color of white. No, let's give blue. No, that navy blue color we used before. Yeah, this one. And then a font size of 70 pixels. And the font weight to 600 and margin top, sorry, it's margin top to 0, but margin, sorry, it's padding top to 80 pixels and a margin bottom to 80 pixels. Save it and see. Yeah, our heading got a padding of 80 pixels from top and a margin bottom from 80 pixels. So now let's style this container element so that we can style h1 and anchor tag together. Let's select this container element dot container. So inside dot container we will specify the max width of the h1 element and the anchor tag. So what this max width does is the max width property will specify the max width of the element, and if the content is larger than the max width that we will specify, then it will automatically change the height of the elements. So we will give the max width of h1 heading and the anchor tag to 940 pixels and a margin of, sorry, it's margin of 0 and auto, which means it will be centered, the heading and the anchor. And then next thing we will give is padding of 0 from top and bottom and 10 pixels from left and right. Okay, and the text align should be center. That's it. Save it. Yeah, we can see that everything is centered. So writing all these styles, make sure it is centered. So now you can see when we scroll down, our background image is overlapping with our h1 heading. So let's specify the z-index property for the header. So it's overlapping with the header. I said h1 heading by mistake. So to make the header appear at the top always, let's give a z-index property to it. Z-index I will give 6. Save it. Well, now it's fine. Now let's type the get started anchor tag. So this our anchor tag has a class name of btn-main. So we'll use it to style our anchor tag dot btn main, and we will give it a background color of this navy blue color, and then the color of the text will be white, and the font size, let's give 18 pixels. Font weight of font weight, let's give 600, and let's give some padding to it. Pad it to 16 pixels from top and bottom, and 40 pixels from left and right. Okay, and then next we will use the text decoration property. So what does this text decoration property will do is it will remove this underlined decoration, you can say underlined style, if we specify as none. So text decoration means there will be no decorations with the text. Okay, now let's save it and see what happens. Yeah, pretty.